Hello friends, my name is Jenny. I don't know about where you are, but here in Portland, Oregon, it has been cold and snowy. So I'm going to show you how to make a Valentine themed hat and scarf. Make one for yourself, friends, or children. Switching up the colors of the fabric, these patterns can be used for any event, whether it's snow or stay warm while supporting your favorite team. I'm using red and white fleece for both of these projects. Let's start with the scarf. Decide how long you want your scarf by comparing it to one you already have or by hanging the fabric around your neck. Also pick how wide it should be. I picked 8 inches. Fold the fabric in half to make it easier to use a straight edge. If the edges aren't neat, cut them off. Then cut out the rectangle the size that you picked for the scarf. With the fabric still folded in half and the edges lined up, trim off the edges if needed. Then cut your fringe any length and width you want. I picked 4 inches long and every ½ inch. Do this across the whole edge, making sure that the cut makes it through both layers of fabric. This looks great as a scarf with plain or patterned fabric, so you could be done now, but if you want to add shapes, continue on. Checking it against the scarf, cut out a piece of paper as wide as you want the biggest heart. Then cut out the heart and adjust the shape until you like the look. Cut out your smaller hearts too. I'm cheating. I found a pack of different sized foam hearts at the dollar store. Fold your heart fabric in half to reduce the amount of cutting, then pin the hearts to it and cut out as many as you need. Check each of the hearts and cut off any rough edges. Lay the ends of the scarf next to each other and place the fabric hearts in the pattern that you like and pin them down. I found that 1 pin was good enough for the small hearts. For the big hearts, use as many pins as you need to keep them flat. But if you pin them at least ½ an inch from the edge, then you won't have to take them out while sewing. With matching threads, sew closely around the edges of the heart. Cut off any stray strings and we're done with the scarf. Now for my favorite part, the hat. Measure and cut out a rectangle 4 inches wide and long enough to fit around your head with 1 inch of extra. You can measure with a measuring tape or by wrapping the fabric around your head. I cut out a longer piece first, then I wrapped it around my head and added the inch. It's a little easier without all the extra fabric hanging off. Then I trimmed off the extra. For the hem, fold down 1/4 inch of one of the long sides and sew it down. You can pin it in place if you need to, but fleece is easy to fold over as you sew. Decide how big you want your heart, keeping in mind that the bottom 1/4 inch will not be seen. Now cut the heart out of the fabric in the same method that we used for the scarf. Now pick where you want it and how it's positioned, then pin it and sew around the edges with the same color thread. Now for the cone of the hat. Decide how long or short you want the hat to be. I picked 32 inches. Cut off any salvage, then measure out the length you want and make a 1 inch cut. Fold the band in half and measure the length. Use this measurement for the width of the bottom of the triangle. Fold at the end of the 1 inch cut into a triangle shape. Make the bottom of the triangle the same width of the band. To make the long edges the same length, line up the straight edge so that the point of the triangle is in the center. Cut the long side past the tip to separate the triangle from the rest of the fabric. Now cut the short side so that the long sides are the same. This doesn't need to be exact, it won't be that noticeable when the hat is all flopped over. Cut off the extra fabric at the tip of the triangle. If the right side of the fabric is on the outside, open it up and fold it so that it's on the inside. If you want a tassel, cut out a 3 inch by 5 inch rectangle. Then make cuts every 1/4 inch, leaving it uncut for the last inch. Do this all the way across the rectangle. It should look something like this. With the uncut edge, roll it up tightly. Fit the tassels into the tip of the triangle. Tuck them in tightly so that when you sew the edge, only the uncut edge of the tassels get sewn into place. Pin it together. When the tassels are safely tucked back, pin down the rest of the side. Sew across the tassels in the tip of the triangle a few times to keep them securely in place. Then 1/4 inch in, sew down the length with a straight stitch. If you want to reinforce it, use a zigzag stitch along the edge. Trim the extra of the tassel off, leaving at least 1/4 inch, then turn the cone right side out. If your edges are no longer even on the short side, trim it so it is. With right sides together, sew the short edge of the band together, reinforcing it if you want to. With the band right side out and hemmed side going in first, tuck it into the cone and line up the seams, pinning them into place. To keep the fabric evenly distributed, straighten it out and pin the other side first, then add as many pins as you need to keep it straight as you sew. Sew it together in the same way that we did with the other parts. If you're able to remove this part of the machine, it's a lot easier. Now flip the band right side out, straighten it up, and it's done. Now how easy was that? And it looks so nice. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, as I'm more than happy to answer. Send pictures to my Instagram or Twitter. The links are in the description below. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and share with your friends. Enjoy your new hats and scarves, and have a great day.